Is that a?
That's a premium skin right there.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
nice wing flap. So what that does is actually knock everyone in a everyone in a line in front of you off their feet. So it's actually pretty powerful if you aim it right, because it'll disrupt whatever the enemy team is doing.
And it can hit multiple targets at the same time.
And they take fall damage. So if they're standing by a ledge and you wing flap them, they'll take quite a bit of damage falling to their potentially death, but probably
or probably
just to a lower ledge. Yeah.
Break their ankle.
But yeah, it rewards you for finding people near ledges and things like that.
Oh wow, okay. And then you had mentioned that you've been seeing a lot of advanced players actually fly really low to the ground to avoid getting hit by these scouts.
Yeah. So what you'll see with really good Sentinel players and against good human players is that they get so good at aiming that if you maintain too much altitude, you'll just get picked off before you get close. So what we find good Sentinels do is fly very close to the ground using geometry to shield them from humans until the last second.
That's actually a really good approach, and I just absolutely love that.
There goes the pouncer. So he was having a little trouble with the
Sentinel.
With Sentinel, so he switched back to Reaver. Looks like he's still using.
I'll tell you what, though, the human team has been doing a great job of just holding him back with the with like the alchemist.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like really just taking advantage of that.
Yep.
And there goes that aim assist right there. And, but you can get broken out, as you saw right there. So if you're getting shot, you are going to be taking some damage, and you're going to have to get away from that.
Yeah, you can knock. So he's playing Reaver with Pounce. You can knock pouncing Reavers off of teammates. You see it happening.
Now, does that happen with the Savage as well?
Yeah, they both use that.
Ooh.
So most of your damage comes from impact, but you do incapacitate the target and deal damage over time to them, but that can be interrupted by teammates.
Okay, and just had a reckless alchemist actually try and get in the fray there, but it ended up paying dearly. So
he's evading right now. He can't take damage from bullets.
Yeah, but an alchemist doesn't care about that. An alchemist will just devastate you.
He probably didn't want to go in there. Luckily, he got away.
Now, a Reaver generally will, so when you look at it, that was a great pounce, by the way. So a Reaver generally will not be the guy that's going to initiate.
He's dead. That's a great ending screen.
So 44 to 51. So the totals are added at the end.
Yep.
Right, and the winner is the first vampire team. I don't know. Well, I don't know. We should give them names. I don't know.
Team 1 and Team 2.
Okay. Well, you know what? If you want to be generic,
Hawks team and Alex's team.
Okay.
Hawks team 1. It looks like.
Okay. Hawks team 1. Woo! All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it certainly was awesome to see there, and of course, a little bit of varied gameplay as well, which never hurts, right?
Yeah.
And so we're gonna go and actually hop into a second game where we're gonna be showing off Siege, and that should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Now, you may have heard about it before on the blog, but now you're actually going to get to check out for the first time ever Siege on Province, which it's all new. So I've never seen this. You've seen it quite a bit, but the people at home definitely haven't seen it. So tell us about Siege.
So Siege mode is our take on more traditional objective-driven modes like Domination.
Okay.
But what we found developing this mode, we wanted an objective-based mode. It's a nice alternative to team deathmatch where your team has a goal instead of just kill as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And what we found was, when you play this game, vampires are ridiculously good at moving around the map. So traditional deathmatch just doesn't work because Sentinel can literally fly between capture points.
Traditional domination, right?
Yeah, traditional domination. Sorry. And so the focus of this mode is actually human-driven. They have these basically flare cannons that are calling in reinforcements, and you've got to capture them by standing near them, much like a traditional domination mode. But vampires, their only objective is to prevent this from happening. So they're not capturing; they're just trying to kill you and basically wipe out all of your lives or reinforcements before you can fire off enough cannons.
Yeah, that's right. And the way that this works is you have a certain amount of lives.
Yeah.
Right? And how many lives do you have in
30,
the team?
30.
So you have 30 lives. So it's similar to Team Deathmatch, but now, like you said before, there's just an objective to it. So looking at Siege here, again, like you said, the objective for the team, capture it.
Yep.
Can the vampires capture A back just to make sure?
They can't. So once it's captured, it basically deactivates, and you have to capture. There's always 2 objectives at a time to give you some choice. We don't want to railroad you into one spot and have the vampires just lurking. So we give the human team a little bit of choice, but once you've captured one, you have to get the other.
Okay, and there's a certain amount of time that you have
Yeah.
before it unlocks, and
Right.
then you end up having to repeat the cycle all over again.
Yeah, so there's 5 to 6 points in each map. You'll cycle through them all in a full match.
And how do they? So humans have captured the manor. So they captured the manor now.
So that cannon went off. 2 new objectives have appeared because they got the initial 2.
Okay.
So now
okay.
they're just moving on. They decide as a
So
team.
C and E are open now.
Yeah, so it looks like they're heading to C. So they're going to try and get C before the vampires get here. They're doing pretty good. They're up 10 to 3
And they score points for
capturing,
getting to the 2 captures, right? It's not necessarily I'm accumulating points
Right,
because
right.
I'm holding it for X amount
It's,
of
it's
time.
purely based on captures.
Okay, cool. And
Mouse right there. So we're seeing, we didn't see this in the last game. Alex is playing the scout, who's our long range specialist. The way the bow works is you can rapid fire it pretty quickly if you're in close range combat, but it's most powerful if you take the time to fully draw it back using the right mouse button.
okay.
And what he switched to is one of the most fun weapons in the game. This is the war bow. And what it'll do is if you reach full charge with it, and it takes about 2.5 seconds.
Ooh.
He just camouflaged, so he's invisible right now.
Okay, I like.
If you reach full, so he can charge while he's invisible. If you reach full charge, you can actually knock down your. He got attacked.
Ooh.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, that's not good.
So it's a cool bow because if you pull off a full charge, you can knock people down even out of the air. So if you tag a sentinel who's flying, he'll actually fall to the earth and take damage.
Wow.
So it's
okay.
incredibly satisfying to use, but it's slower and a little bit weaker than the regular bow.
So it really just benefits from that full charge.
Right, and it's a great team weapon. You know, you're knocking people down on your teammates, but it's a little harder to dominate with it.
Oh, and gets attacked there by that Reaver.
So if he's
that's not
smart,
very
he's
good.
probably going to pop his camouflage here and run. Yeah,
Yeah, good call. Good call. Someone's played quite a bit, and he's hunting too. He's hunting
it was that charge.
Oh.
He whiffed.
with that.
Having a
one.
little trouble.
But that's the thing, right? So if you whiff that shot,
You're in trouble.
yeah. If they get near you, and he knows that, so now he's going to change up to the Stormbow
So
here.
the Stormbow
What is
actually
that?
shoots explosive arrows that do AoE damage, and
Love it.
they'll stick to the point of impact. So they explode about 2 seconds after you shoot. So you can actually use them as not proximity, but mines. Basically, if you see people coming, you could lace the ground with explosives before they get to you.
And how much damage does it do?
It's fairly comparable to the base bow, except it's AoE, but you have a smaller clip. So you're basically trading off amount of ammo for explosive shots.
Okay. And it doesn't matter like whether you charge a shot or
It
not.
does. The charge shot does more damage, just like with the regular bow.
Okay, but it still sticks no matter what.
Yeah, it's always a sticky projectile. It's
And that's
just-
the compound
The power
bow.
is driven. So he's going to the stock bow. That's my favorite. It's the one you get for free when you just play the scout.
Just gets the job done.
Yeah, it's very effective. So it's the best all-around bow, probably. The other bows have their perks, but this is the most,
And what
rounded.
are the 2 abilities that he's using there?
So he's using the throwing knives, which are a really good reactionary. Where the hunter has the bowler that knocks somebody up, the scout has more quickly firing, more damaging throwing knives that will stun a vampire briefly. So it doesn't buy you as much time as the bola does, but it's a little more offensive driven and it's a little quicker to get out. So you can use it in a pinch when your bow's not fully charged up to buy yourself some time.
Okay.
And he's also got the turret, which is a sort of mechanical device that does AoE damage. So he'll throw it out at some point. There goes the takeoff. Sentinel's just
In
gone.
time. Just because actually
Yeah.
he was going to get
he
obliterated
was
there by
about
that
to die.
alchemist. So that's not good. And there you can see there actually it's getting contested. So they're going to have to fight this one off, but they have managed
they
to
did get
cap
the
it.
objective.
And they're doing pretty well. But
Yeah, they're up by just a little bit.
so again, so they don't get points for kills.
Right. So
Right.
your only goal as a human in this is to basically fend off the vampires while you capture. So as a vampire, you do have a longer respawn time, so there's more of a penalty for death in this mode.
Okay.
So humans, you want to kill people to get them out of the fight for a while, but the real goal is to keep the capture going over.
Now
Getting
earlier
the best kill death ratio.
earlier when we were talking about like competitive gaming and esports and all that kind of stuff, there is more of a tendency in competitive gaming to see the objective-based game modes.
Yeah.
Right. Is that something that you personally, just as someone who would see competition, you would see a game type like this being used over, say, team deathmatch?
It's possible. I mean, there's a lot of history too with things like Quake or other strictly TDM games being successful. But it definitely introduces an extra layer of strategy that I can see being relevant in esports. It introduces the idea of teams working together for something other than just killing people. So I can see why that would help differentiate a top tier team from somebody a couple steps down.
Okay, for sure, for sure. I think, because obviously as that question goes and people are trying to establish like, oh, what will be played, right? And now like you see with like first person shooter games like, Call of Duty or something like that, you don't see team deathmatch. Oh, that was a great shot. Oh man.
Smacked him right out of the sky.
Nice. Oh goodness, that was great.
In trouble, huh?
Yeah. When a Reaver pounces on you and a Tyrant's right behind you, chances are it's not going to work out very well.
So you can see his kill death isn't great. He's 2-6 right now, but his team's winning. So, it's nice to have these modes, especially for players.
Right now,
we've had a lot of players that say, I love the game, but I don't want to chase a kill death ratio, and this is a great way to avoid that. It's more about this mode really favors things like Alchemist with the healing skill because it's more about sustaining your team and capturing and just murdering as many people as possible.
Well, that was actually a great
There
grenade.
goes the takeoff.
You can never get away from that takeoff.
They are pretty quick. It looks like vampires have actually taken the lead here at the end, but if the humans can get one objective, they'll win.
Yeah, and
So this is going to be pretty close.
Now, the more humans you have on an objective,
It
goes
goes faster, exactly.
Of course. All right.
Oh, there's a trouble.
This isn't good.
28. You
Only
got to
2
get this
kills.
objective.
Okay, this is pretty intense.
Vampire victory.
There you go. So now 25. So it's a 5-point lead here.
So if they can win by 5
For
or
Huck's
more,
team.
they will win.
Ooh, tension's rising. So 2-7 he went on the other side.
Tough, but he had a bunch of assists and his team almost won.
Yeah. All right. So now we have.
I think he's going to play some Tyrant probably.
Oh yes.
I haven't seen that yet.
Love the Tyrant. It's probably like one of my favorite classes. And it's using Ground Slam and Enrage. So no, what does Enrage do? What do those two abilities do there for the Tyrant?
Kind of like on the Reaver that we talked about earlier, the Enrage is the offensive option for the F ability for the Tyrant. So it actually powers you more the more damage you take. So it has a base level that it makes you run faster and do more damage. So you can just pop it at full health if you want, but if you're at half, you do significantly more than that. So you get stronger and stronger the lower your health is. So the humans have to be actually pretty scared of an enraged Tyrant because as they try to kill him, he gets stronger and stronger.
Oh, that Ground Slam
So
there.
that was a pretty good
devastating.
combo. The Ground Slam is a AoE stun, and if you can pull off a charge and knock him down first, you can sort of chain them. Yeah, you just got a double kill. So this is a good chance to talk about how our health system works. The vampires do have passive regeneration, but only up to a point. So they can regen minor wounds, basically. So if you get clipped a few times from across the map by a crossbow, it's not a big deal because you'll regenerate that off. But the bulk of the time you need to actually execute a human to heal. So every time you kill a human, they can be basically have the blood drained out of them. And each class has unique execution moves. And it takes some time and can be interrupted, so you have to do it in a safe place, and we allow you to actually pick up and drag bodies away from danger.
But the second you get shot, though, you
Right.
end up dropping that. So that's kind of like the catch-22 there, right?
So he's going to execute here. He's just, looks like he's...
Actually saw someone.
Oh, I think he got
man.
all 4. And he's enraging, so he's going to be really powerful here.
Yeah, ended up picking up, I think, 1 kill.
You can see he's running a bit faster right now. More off though, but he'll probably get this kill too. Oh, maybe not with the firewall.
Yeah, firewalls.
So he's low health right now. He's going to try
combo.
and feed on this probably. Yeah.
And there's
So
no
you
one
get
gonna be
half of
there,
your
so.
life back if you successfully execute someone.
And it's an instant regeneration. Like
Versus
you saw there.
so the passive stuff takes time. You have to basically not take damage for about 10 seconds for it to kick in, but the execution restores you instantly.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
So a risk as a human is if you see a guy executing, you might run up and try to interrupt it, but if he pulls it off in time,
Yeah.
you're in trouble.
So that and you might see some advanced players know like when to engage in a situation versus just like kind of hanging back. We're like, all right, he already gained health, but oh my goodness, Huck just could not do anything there.
Tyrant is on a roll.
Yeah, he really is. Alex is doing a great job. I have to say, man, I'm looking at this and even I'm getting some tips, so feel pretty good.
Man, just dead people everywhere. They did capture. Looks like the humans got one objective. But
I
they're
think
definitely struggling.
I think that they're feeling better. That.